with scrutiny, but I do look at them with maybe this is their max out. Like maybe church and congregation on Sundays, and it's not a bad max out, bro. It's not like I can gather up thousands of people every week right now with a snap of my finger. So their build up to what they've got right now, that's a lot of time, that's a lot of effort. There may be some misuse and misappropriation along the way by people who were in it for the wrong reasons and wanted just that power hungry feel. But in 2020, there's a lot to be learned about what they got right and what they got wrong.
Right.
Maybe it's not important to tell them what they got wrong, and instead to just incorporate that into whatever you're doing, and that knowledge bank of yours is like, oh well, obviously, if I say something about God that I believe is very important to more than just me and my ego to say it. If I say something about God that I believe is revolutionary to a certain degree as far as thinking about God, then what I should do is I should tell it to the people who understand where I'm coming from and won't misunderstand what I'm saying. Because as soon as somebody misunderstands what you're saying on a topic that's that important, the need for them to turn it into something that they want to speak on so that they can present it to the masses is what happens, and that's the problem. That's why it's almost like a level of suffering, and this is why I believe in the story of Jesus so wholeheartedly, because there is an element of suffering through the fact that you cannot change the larger demographic, even if you have something that benefits them instantly. It's a struggle to convince them of that, and it shouldn't be. But that's part of the deal. It's easy for me to tell you something, or you to tell me something, and then we spend some time with it, and we say, well, Sasha was right on this. It makes sense. Or Jared makes a lot of sense with what he said.
Right.
So obviously, there's something to me allowing other people to share their opinions with me on things, and whatever sticks, and it sticks to the ribs. It doesn't stick to the mind all the time, but it sticks to the part of me that I maybe don't have control over. So in a way, what's meant to stick is divinely there. It's there for a reason, because
Right.
it's helping me improve and move forward and get to that next step.
It also can go towards the negatives. I'll tell you why. Because there was a David Banner song, man, and he said they would hang niggas, and on Sundays they'll go and praise God. And so I'm thinking like generally like the Ku Klux Klan wasn't like these evil people. Like these people generally had a family, kids, and went to church and shit, right? And so just I mean this guy knows his history as well. So just so happened it's connected with being able to affect the masses through church. So there's this group called the so when Noah after the flood whatever I mean I know all this part after the flood Noah had his three sons Shem, Ham, and Japhet whatever his name was, but the Ham bloodline were one, and Shem bloodline was another to repopulate the world, right? So what they did was in the 60s, which I didn't know that they used. I knew that whole part right there, but what he said that was a very evil thing that they did during the 60s and the 70s during racial divide. He said what they did was Ham was considered to have darker children. Well, the thing was Noah cursed Ham, his son Ham, for seeing him naked in the tent, whatever like that. But he didn't curse his son Shem. So they said Ham had the darker, which is the Africans, the Indians, the Arabics, whatever like that, and Shem was like the white people, the Asian, the pretty much fair skin color people, whatever like that. So what they did was during this time was in church they said that the darker people are the people of Ham, which are cursed people, and we need to get rid of these people, and that's why they were hanging us, killing us, doing all these things to us. But it's driven inside their mind through church that this is okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So,
I'm not saying the church is bad because the church has way more positives than negatives, but it's just showing to show you that something positive you can't turn towards something negative and affect the masses. Because I told him, I said, I told you because I was friends with his son. I said, I told your
that's
son,
where,
huh?
yeah. Well, that's where what we just talked about plays a big role. The fact that misinterpretation can happen. Maybe that's one of the mistakes of the Christian sort of religion itself, is that they were so eager to spread this message, which might be a good message. At the end of the day, if you strip it down to the bones, the message of the story of Jesus and a lot of the Old Testament, a lot of the New Testament, if you take away the specifics, which I know it's hard to do, the message there is just, it's like it's a decent message. It's hard to argue that improving who you are and trying to be the best version of yourself so that you can be close to the closest form to God as you can possibly be.
And which is our perfect form, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Why wouldn't you want to do that? Like, what could possibly be more of a goal than that?
Yeah, to become your perfect form.
Exactly. So if you just leave it at that, it's a different story. But by adding all the other stuff that that may be historically accurate, but it allows for misinterpretation, and maybe that's a mistake that cannot be done again moving forward. Like maybe, and that's hard, bro. How hard of a conversation is it to discuss? If me and you and like a handful of other people sit down in a room and we close the door and we say, let's design a way of communicating something important and something positive and something life-changing without it being misinterpreted. How do you do that? So,
Man.
I've been chipping away at it though, man. I've
Man.
been chipping away. I answered it a little bit just a while ago. When you and I talk, there's all the whole conversation goes through multiple filters within my body. I have my ears, I have my brain, I have my heart, and then I have something that I believe I do not have control over. I think I have control over my heart. Like if you say something that really makes me feel some type of way, I will feel it. If you say something that makes me really contemplate something, I will think it, and my mind will activate. If you say something that gives me the fucking chills, I will get them. However, if you say something that is meant to stick with me, I don't know what happens, but I know that down the road, just like your memory works, to a certain degree, part of it's got to be memory, but this is why the soul probably plays a role in all of this. If you say something that I am meant to live with and to absorb as part of my existence, I don't think any of the the faculties that I have control over play a part in it. Either that or all of them do it simultaneously. So my heart, my brain, and my consciousness, they all intermingle and they say, okay, this little bit, it's like a filtration system. This little bit, you're going to remember this, whether you like it or not.
Right.
Like you will remember this. So if you think about that, then the solution to hammer home some of this stuff that, well, man, at the same time, do you even have to worry about it? Because I think about inevitability a lot of the time. The expansion of the universe, for every big bang, there's a big crunch. about 90% of your career, were you a good baseball player? Like, no.
Right.
You have to see some sort of improvement along the way, or else they chop you down to the minors. Like, if this guy can't hit a fastball, and he's never made contact with a fastball in his career, but he's really good at hitting curveballs, they're never going to put that guy in when the pitcher throws nothing but fastballs. So, if you think about it on a larger scale, if you want people to change as a whole, the obvious, you have to start intimately, like we do within our communications, but we have to do the same thing within our circles, which I think we do as well. That's obvious. But we have to be aware that we're doing it as well.
Right.
Like we have to know when we're saying something that should be sticking, so that then we can take a step back and we can see if it's working. So we can be our own critics, because God will, in my opinion, the universe, or God, or whatever you want to call it,
Right.
it'll let you know if something's working. It's an instant, not instant, but if you give it a little bit of time, like if I say something right now that is just 100% fact and irrefutable to the existence of everything, I'm going to have the confidence that in 5 to 10 days, something will come across my peripherals that confirms what I said is the truth. And that's just the ball that you gotta get going. And that's why, like, I don't know where I was going with all this, but to tie it back to like your journey with the recent stuff with the Bible study, guys, I don't think I have to tell you this. Like, you already said it right off jump. Like, you're going there for educational purposes.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I know that you're going to turn every conversation that you hear with that guy into something that you can apply to what you believe in and say, oh, okay, that makes sense. Like,
right.
it's so hard. Like, I'm not trying to, I don't want to win people over to thinking that this is the right way to do it. I don't think any of the ways up to this point that have tried to do this have gotten it right. But I think at the same time, I wouldn't know how to go forward if they hadn't failed the way that they did.
True. And for you, I would suggest, what I'm doing is if you do find, well, research, yeah, but if you do find a church, I highly recommend a Bible study, because it's an open conversation versus one guy sitting there preaching to the masses. When I go to Bible study, they preach, they stop, and people have conversations about like questions that they have, and is able to be internalized with everyone versus just being told what is. You know what I'm saying? And like you were saying earlier about your college and high school friends versus your now, man, that is there was this preacher. I heard this a long time ago. It's probably 2-3 years ago. Matter of fact, I heard it from freaking Slim Thug having Joel Osteen on his album. He says an eagle can never become a great eagle with hanging around chickens all day, which is true as fuck. It's like if you're an eagle and you walk around chickens and you eating like out of the fucking little pan, and you would never be able to fly off that mountain. You know? So you saying why you trying to find more people that's like-minded like you within the past 2 years, that explains that quote very well.
Yo, but here's the spicy part, bro. Here's the spiciness. I know who I've been this whole time, and I know like what I've stood for this whole time. But when I met you, and when we started having our discussions, what I noticed is that we were very compatible to have discussions on 95% of the stuff. But the 5%
Right.
Like if something sticks, I'm gonna. He's not present. I know him well enough in such a short period of time that I know that if we agree on this much, there's just a little bit holding us back from agreeing on the other stuff. So
But
let's just focus on that.
the funny thing about us, sometimes we argue the same point
Different ways.
in different ways, right? And then we end up getting there eventually, man. And the crazy part about it was, like you said, you always knew who you were, like this was you. When we started having that Periscope or just our conversation through text message, it was organic. It wasn't like, well, I'm going to try to sound smart. I'm going to try to outdo this guy. It was like two humans being on a planet of apes and finding each other, and they're like, hey, remember Walmart? They're like, yeah, I remember Walmart. Remember McDonald's had? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It wasn't anything that we had to try to do.
Yeah.
It was just a natural flow of conversation.
Yeah, I said something on Twitter today that just brings up this point perfectly. I said, when I'm in my zone, and I know I'm in my zone, then I'm really good at whatever it is I'm doing. Like if I'm bowling, and I'm in the zone bowling, and I'm aware that I'm bowling well, then odds are I'm going to keep bowling well. Same thing with music. Like I get in my songwriting zone, and I am aware of when I'm there. But those zones that we don't know that we are in and that we are really zoning,
Yeah.
we don't know.
Right.
We don't know what it's like to be clicking on all cylinders when it comes to something like speaking the truth or I can feel it a little bit. I do get some moments like when I'm like those epiphanies when we have conversations I'm like, oh yeah, time just flies by. That's kind of like a trademark for it. But still, there's like an organic, like you said, an organic experience that happens, and that's kind of what I want to share with people because I don't know that a lot of people get. If they get it in very small doses. But it's so easy to experience if the right people are around. Like, what if you and I and I want to say a handful of other people as well that we probably both respectively know in our lives. Like, I've got some people in my life that I can on different topics, but I can do what we do on like different topics. And this has only come about in the last year or two, I want to say. Because the rest of the time I was just doing it all by myself, and I was like, yo, fuck, everybody around me is so behind that I'm just gonna go ahead on my own since nobody wants to catch up.
Right.
And I did that for a little bit of time, but then some individuals started like being right where I was when it comes to at least being able to communicate, and like it's not. It's like that's a special feeling that if more people felt, they would be more interested in wanting to feel that feeling on a consistent basis. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I mean, this plays into my little theory that I love, that I entertain, that I don't find this to be true, whatever like that. That all of us are dead and we're replaying our lives. We're just experiencing our life back and forth because our life is flashing before our eyes, but we're going through the experience. So this brings it to when we feel things that are all clicking, it's familiar with us because we've already done it before. We're just reliving the experience.
Yeah, with a different environment, like just in a different time.
Yeah. It already happened before. That's why like some things you just don't get because inside your life you didn't flow with that, and inside your previous life you did flow with educational, and that's why even somebody could be like, you just need to stop doing education and I will find you a happier life. I just can't do it, man. It's like this is ingrained in me, man. And it was crazy, man, the way you just said time flies, man. So I don't know if synchronicity, connection, it's just starting to happen because I learned about it a few months ago, or it's always happened, but I'm seeing it with different eyes from a more educated point of view because I was driving to work.
It's the second.
Yeah, we talked about this.
They always happen. You just have to be perceptive of them. And I'm going to let you say whatever you got to say, but I got something that's crazy out there. Go ahead.
So I have I have Apple Music, but I have a certain playlist of every single album that I already have downloaded, plus all the other songs that I added. So I've got about 4,000 songs that I just click randomize. That just plays random, right? So when I'm driving to work, the last song was Mac Miller with Lil B called Time Flies. So I'm sitting there, I don't even think about it. I get inside work and a lady was gambling. I didn't let go of the song already. She says, man, when you're gambling, time flies. And our brain just clicked. It went back to the song. And then just now, you was just like when we're talking, and I'm figuring out how time flies. And it's this synchronicity, you know what I'm saying? The exact same wording.
Absolutely. And even though you don't know how to explain it like super beautifully or exquisitely right now, I understand everything that you're
Crazy, bro. It's entertaining, and I don't believe in it.
Well, if you look at it just through ancestry, it's accurate. Like genetically,
true.
Of our historical precedents. So here's the cool part. Here's the innovative part. If you master that, and if you figure that out, if you crack that code, and you understand it. If you realize that time does fly and that all these synchronicities are intertwined, and you begin to live your life according to that philosophy, then you are tapping into perhaps a region of experience that is on the evolutionary scale unprecedented, to where you are then a pioneer of that full understanding that your historical precedents have led up to. It's like saying we don't know what the world is going to look like in 1,000 years at all.
Right.
But we can assume that it's going to look completely different than what it looks now, based on what the world looks like now versus 1,000 years ago. But we can't visualize it tit for tat. But there's nothing wrong with accelerating our ability to try to figure that out. Yeah. Like, not technologically speaking, there is nothing wrong with trying to say, what are human beings going to be able to process and think and understand in 1,000 years?
Well, this is where you tap into I mean, this will sound crazy. But not even really crazy. This way you tap into.
Everything we said will sound crazy.
Oh yeah. This is where you tap into a.
If the fucking CIA and the NSA are listening to all this, all this shit sound crazy. They can't decode it because this is the code within the code within the code within the code.
Right.
It's beautiful, man. That's why it's so beautiful.
This is where you get into talking about like you're speaking about the future already, right? How if you tap inside of it, you can kind of see into the future. And this also speaks into that if you already died and you're reliving, let's say like you died in 2050, right? And so now we're reliving from the year we were born, from 83. I mean, even though we haven't seen 2023, we already lived it. We're going through it, right? I think this plays into a part to where the people already died and they tap into themselves, where you get a Steve Jobs, a Bill Gates, Elon Musk, a Tesla, who already foresees the future because they tapped inside of their future already that already happened. You get what I'm saying?
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, like Lil Wayne, he said, I'm rapping like I've been here before.
I feel you, man. Jobs would have only basically done it to introduce a technology, become a multi-billionaire, and then die of cancer. I don't know that, like that sounds harsh, but if he had it all figured out, then you would.
But he wanted to die. This is the part that I love about, man. This is a simple ass story, but this is what I loved about Steve Jobs.
And just so you know, I am gonna have to walk into my house in like 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay, all right. I'll speed this one up real quick. So
We'll continue this tomorrow, though.
oh, for sure. So he was building a yacht, and they said you have 3 months to live, but it's gonna take a full year for the yacht to be finished. He says, if I stop building this yacht, then I'm already dead already. I've already died.
I like it.
Love it, man.
That's great.
Oh, I just need your quick take on the Joker, just quick, man.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I watched it again on 4K, and when I put the disc in, all I wanted to do was go to the end.
Okay.
All I wanted to do was go to the last 30 minutes and watch that again, because the first time I watched it, like just the first 90 minutes, it was all suffering. It was all pain.
Yeah,
It was all struggle, and it was suffering on a level that I could empathize with, and so I just knew what to expect. So I wanted to go to the part that I wanted to study again to see, like, oh, okay, this is dope. This is how you turned all of that into your mission.
Right.
But yeah, that's about it.
One more thing. If you want a suffering movie, check out Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler. Just watch it.
I've heard good things.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's good. It's a good movie, man. It also deals. I mean, of course, with the suffering. One other thing. I mean, this is gonna be very hard for you, but last thing. What was your best movie of 2019?
I'll have that answer tomorrow.
All right, just ponder on that.
Because the one that sticks out. Nah, I couldn't say.
Yeah, okay. Mine was Midsommar, man. That's
Yes, sir.
all right.
Same time, 5:30 is good.
Cool.
All right, bro.
Later.